Okay, today we're going to have a look at identifying cadence points under melodies. So cadences, as you'll remember from higher, two chords at the end of a section or a piece of music, and we've learned 4 different cadences. So perfect, imperfect, plagal, interrupted. So remember that perfect cadence always ends in chord 1. And it's preceded the chord before the final chord, chord 5. So if we're in the key of C, chord 1 is C, chord 5 is G. So in a perfect cadence we would have the chord of G followed by the chord of C. If we were in the key of A minor is chord 1, E is chord 5. A perfect cadence in A minor would be the chord of E and then the chord of A minor. Sometimes chord 5 is a dominant 7th. So G7 to C or E7 to A minor. We look at this example here, we can see that we're in the key of G. Does it finish in chord 1? Yes, it finishes in chord 1. Is it a perfect cadence? Is the second last chord chord 5? Yes. Therefore, it's a perfect cadence. Imperfect cadence, this is one of them that doesn't finish on chord 1. A piece of music can't finish on an imperfect cadence. So an imperfect cadence will finish on chord 5, often preceded by chord 1 or chord 2. So if we look at this music here, we can see that we're in the key of G. Does this music finish on the chord of G? No. What chord does it finish on? It finishes on the chord of D. And in the key of G, D is chord 5. You can see that the preceding chord is chord 1. And the last chord is chord 5. This is an imperfect cadence. Plagal cadence, that's the other one that finishes on chord 1. So a piece of music could finish, it would sound quite complete after a plagal cadence. We'll look at these 2 examples here. For example, we see that we're in the key of D, 2 sharps in the key signature, D major. Here's the last chord. That's the chord of D. Here's the second last chord. That's the chord of G. Chord 4 to chord 1. Plagal cadence. Here's 2 more examples of a plagal cadence in the key of C. So chord 1 finishes, preceded by chord 4. Chord of F to the chord of C. Chord of F to the chord of C. Chord 4 to chord 1, plagal cadence. Interrupted cadence doesn't finish on chord 1. So this will finish on chord 6. Again, chord 5, the preceding chord, could be a dominant 7th. Look at this music, we're in the key of C. Last chord, A minor. Chord 6 in the key of C. Preceding chord, G. Chord 5 to chord 6. Interrupted cadence. Okay, so let's have a look at this music and identify the cadence in the box at the end. So we know that we're in the key of B flat, we say to ourselves, is this final chord here the chord of B flat? We've got a B flat, we've got a D, we've got an F, and then 2 more B flats. That is the chord of B flat. That is chord 1. So we're dealing with a cadence that is either perfect or it's plagal. So we now need to look at the second last chord. So we know it's in B flat. And we know this chord is chord 1. So the second last chord, we have an F, we have an F, we have an A, we have a C. This is the chord of F. And in B flat, chord F is chord 5. Chord 5 goes to chord 1, makes it a perfect cadence. How about this one? So first of all, we'll look at the key signature, and we see that it's in the key of D, 2 sharps, key of D. We have a look at the chord at the end. Doesn't end in chord 1. This isn't the chord of D. So we know it's not a perfect cadence, it's not a plagal cadence, doesn't end in chord 1. It's either imperfect or it's interrupted. What is this chord? This is the chord of B minor. And this is an interrupted cadence because B minor is chord 6 in the key of D. It's an interrupted cadence. How about this one? So looking at the box at the end, we look at the key signature, key of G major. We look at the end, we look at the last chord, we see that it ends on chord 1. It's either perfect or plagal. So we need to take a look now at the second last chord. Here. We see that that second last chord there is chord 4. It's the chord of C. And in the key of G, chord 4 is C. We're going from chord 4 to chord 1. And that's a plagal cadence.